I seen you mention it.
We live.
No, it's gonna play something.
Bro.
What time is it, guys?
10:09.
10:09.
10:09?
Southeast lost 76, yo. Yo. That shit, why I be embarrassed playing again. What? 70. 70, though. If no Edge home beat Northampton, Southeast can't beat them. No, Southeast was serious try.
All you other teams. Southeast trash team in the league.
Like, you know, we need to tell Coach, bro, need new plays. Like, he need to let us, like, let y'all, like.
We need some fast backs.
We need 3 backs.
I think that's how we lost last game because they knew area where we were going. They would get run the same play from one. The marker lined up.
He be pointing, plus it be on the offset. We need to tell that guy, bro, because them same plays, they ain't mid. 26, 35, 26, 35.
The same play kept running.
Why he ain't let you do that fake? How you get a slight concussion when you ran head up against them?
I trucked TJ and then Bird and Beast. They came and cleaned up. So then I fell forward and my nose started bleeding. That's the main reason I went to the hospital. I ain't never had a nose bleeding to that day. And this is I had a concussion, a slight concussion.
Football fun.
The old Renaissance is the new Renaissance, standing on tradition while embracing the spirit of distinction. This is the Harlem Brewing Company. Uniquely crafted beer brewed to deliver a taste, a sound, and a feeling.
Are you listening?
Get your 5 fingers up when you hear see Doc say. Everybody get your 5 fingers up. Because you know what time it is. It's time to get your sweet tea out and have some sweet tea with Dr. C. Toast it up.
All right.
I hope that everybody's doing well out there in Facebook land. We have so much to talk to you about in Halifax County because we've done a lot since our last time.
Yes, quite a bit.
And we've done a lot.
On the road.
And we've been moving and grooving all over the East Coast because a lot's going on in Halifax County right now. But right now, tell our Facebook listeners what's going on today.
Well, today we are on the campus of Enfield Middle STEAM Academy and Gordon Elementary STEAM Academy, where our teachers are getting job-embedded professional development to impact teaching and learning in the classroom.
That's right.
Making sure that our students can have that incremental growth.
Incremental growth, and you know what that means. We're asking every child to answer 5 more questions right than they did last year, which means we want every teacher to have 5 more students passing than they did last year. Am I right?
That's right. We're talking about that incremental growth.
Incremental growth, step by step, step by step. Now, for parents, we want you to be asking your children, are you striving for 5 every day? Because that's all I want you to do. When they leave your house at 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7 o'clock, whatever time it is when the bus goes beep, beep, I want you to look at your son or daughter and go like this.
Have a 5-star day.
That's right. And then when they come home, all I need you to do is do like this. Now, if that son or daughter looks back at you and go like this, you need to have a talk. You need to have a talk. Absolutely. Because we are looking for 5s. And the way that we are understanding how your son or daughter, what they learned today, should be measured by 1 to 5.
That's right.
So if your son or daughter says, I had a 1 day, talk to them. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Just talk to them about it. What went right, what went wrong. Every day I want you to ask your son or daughter, what did you learn today?
Hey, that's right.
Not what did you learn today? What made you laugh today? What made you smile today in school? Not what went wrong. What went right? What went right? What did you learn? What made you happy? What made you smile? What challenged you today?
That's a good one.
Say, what challenged you today? That's where we need your help. If we're committed to growing our students to excellence, all hands on deck. Now, our first segment, Dr. Battle.
Yes.
I'm just overwhelmed.
I am too.
You know, because we got on the Pathfinder. For all you that remember Halifax back in the day,
that's right.
we pulled the Pathfinder out of the woods, and we hooked it back up, y'all. We transformed that Pathfinder. We put new seats in it, entertainment system. We've done it. We turned it into Air Force One.
That's right.
And we all got on the Pathfinders. We all got on the Pathfinder, and where did we go?
We went to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Ron
Clark Academy. Ron Clark Academy.
And you know, Dr. C, we took our Teachers of the Year, we had our Principal of the Year, we had Central Services Support, And we had an awesome time on the Pathfinder where we had that surround sound system that you're talking about, where we had professional development, where our teachers had an opportunity to collaborate with one another on teaching and learning. What strategies work best with which students? And so that was an awesome trip.
And we went out there to Atlanta and we had a ball. We all loaded the Pathfinder, went out there and had this great day in Atlanta. We learned something, and I have to admit, the first hour, 2 hours, I was crying. I was crying because I had never seen our African American scholars, our young boys and young girls, knocking it out the park like they were doing at the Ron Clark Academy. They were doing calculus and trigonometry and having debates and enjoying themselves and loving learning. And it was not just on display. It was something that they were committed to. And those kids were doing awesomely well. And guess what? The kids are just like the kids in Halifax County.
That's right.
That's right.
They're the same kids like we see in Halifax County, knocking it out the park. So today, I want to talk to a group of teachers who accompanied us to Halifax County School. Who introduce yourself?
Angela Horton from Hollister Elementary Leadership Academy.
Margaret McGee, Eric's Elementary STEM Academy.
Brenda Robinson, Inboard Elementaries.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your experience in Atlanta.
My experience in Atlanta was very educated and exciting to be there. I saw motivation, I saw rigor, I saw students building relationships with their teachers.
What did you?
And no child had a wrong answer. Every child was correct, and they helped boost all the other kids when they was talking.
Ooh, I like that.
I saw student-faculty relationships. I saw faculty relationships with one another. I saw classrooms where no child was disciplined out loud, where they took the discipline and they went on with it. It was corrective, and the students were engaged in their work. They got back on track when they got off, and they kept it moving.
They just kept it moving, weren't they?
Yeah, and Dr. C, all of these things we're talking about, it's all about the student accountability. The students took they were accountable for their own learning, and that is a lot of what we had seen at the Ron Clark Academy, and that's what we're fostering here in Halifax County.
I mean, they even have music.
Yes. They did.
Did y'all hear all the music?
Yes, lots.
We thought we were off with the music. You want to know about music? You go to Atlanta. They have music every single place, every single time. Everybody had music in the classroom. How did that make you feel when you heard all this music?
Excited.
Excited? Tell me about it. How would you integrate music into your classroom?
Well, we integrated anyway in NC Pre-K. We do it from the time we get up in the morning off the bus until it's time, until in the afternoon, until time for them to get on the bus.
All right. And what about, pass that mic, talk about music in the classroom.
Music involves movement. It involves exercise. And it gives the kids an enjoyment time, a time of learning with enjoyment.
Yeah.
Music is wonderful in the classroom, and when we see a child that's getting off task, we'll let them get up and move a little bit to the music where they'll kind of wake themselves up and they get back on track.
Yeah. Right. Because music matters, doesn't it?
That's right.
Music matters.
That's right. Music matters. And what that reminded me of is the ABL initiative that we have here.
Yes.
The action-based learning and that kinesthetic movement where we have the music, because the students can hear the information, they can move their body to it, and to get those brain cells just to going and going and going. And you can see the students, they were accountable for their learning. They could tell you when they made a mistake, and they were able to articulate, this is where I made an error right here. And so another colleague would come in and help them out, and they would learn from one another. That peer tutoring, excellent.
Exercise grows brain cells.
Yes.
Exercise grows brain cells. And I am so glad that we are embracing those philosophies. But I'm also glad that the Ron Clark Academy, as a charter school, and if you remember, charter schools were first invented to be a place of innovation, and experimentation. They're supposed to learn new ideas and new strategies and then share them with the public schools.
Pass them on to the public schools.
And they're supposed to share them with the public schools, and then we're supposed to replicate them because they've been tried and tested.
That's right.
And I am so glad that he has opened up his school to become a repository of innovation. So tell me some other top, some other things that you learned at the Ron Clark Academy?
The relationship with the parents came out and volunteered during the day when the children were at school. They came and volunteered, and that made a big impact on me, because when kids come in and they see their parents can do the same things that they do at school during school, it makes them feel like, okay, if my mom and dad does it, I know it's something positive, I know it's something I can do.
Students were respectful to each other's comments or opinions. Nobody had a wrong or right answer. And that really motivated me, how we can motivate our kids to be respectful when someone is speaking.
Students work together, and I like when they had the collaboration where they would discuss a problem, whether right or wrong, and if they had the discussion, they would say, lean in, everybody lean in. And they wanted everybody to lean in and get that right answer together, so they worked it out, they went back, found a solution to the problem.
And it was just awesome, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I mean, it was just absolutely awesome. And what did you think about lunchtime?
Lunchtime was the best time, because they invited all of us and collaborated with all of us. And we were able to sit down with the children to enjoy the lunch, to get that fellowship time with them, to thought what they felt. And they were able to tell us they appreciate us being there.
Same thing. Just as she said, it was very interesting that the students had the opportunity to tell us how they liked school and how they felt about school. And the kids that we talked to, I had 2 at my table, and the 2 that I've talked with, they didn't have any kind of negativity. They only had positive. They was talking about the rigor in their school, how they have good relationship with their teachers. That's what's outstanding.
I like the positivity where all of them spoke highly of their teachers, they spoke highly of their peers, the collaboration, everything was just on point.
Everything was just on point, parents, because the first 2 weeks of school, I want you to imagine something. When you go to the Ron Clark Academy, the first 2 weeks of school, no talking.
That's right.
No talking.
Can you absolutely remember a no talking school? And because the first 2 weeks, they want you to learn routines and rules.
They're making deposits.
And making deposits, trying to understand some things. And and it was very difficult for the kids to respond to that, as well as parents, wasn't it? But after the 3rd and 4th week,
They understood.
guess what happened? What happened?
They understood.
They understood, didn't they?
Right.
That's right. And they were all on a common platform, weren't they?
They were.
They were.
Everybody was on one accord.
And they understood it so much that you would have thought that they had been in school much longer than they were.
I really like the opportunity that the students had to express themselves. If you're a student that learns best by standing on top of the desk, that's what we did. You stood on top of the desk. If you're a student who wanted to jump on some ABL equipment, you could do the ABL equipment. They nurtured the students and allowed the students to be themselves in your own free learning environment, so that you can be accountable and comfortable, so that those cognitive skills, you can develop them more.
And also, I like to add, they give them high expectation at the beginning. We had a 6th grader who's already preparing for the future. She's already saying she's ready to go to boarding school. After that, on to college. She says she has no other choice. Ron Clark is preparing her for that. So I thought that was good.
Yes, and all the faculty members there are preparing those children. They have the respect for that faculty member, and they collaborate together so that they all can do what they need to do at Ron Clark Academy.
Good. Teamwork.
And guess what I didn't see? I didn't see a teacher desk in any of the classrooms, y'all.
Nope.
They had no teacher desk in any of the classrooms. They had stages in the classroom. Did y'all see the stages in the classroom? Because it was like a performance. And I love this one thing. In Ron Clark's room, he has air. So when the kid answers correctly, he stands under air and he just goes, ah! Like on Michael Jackson?
Yes.
And we loved it. It was just so exciting, and it encouraged them to do what? What did it encourage the kids to do?
Want to be a part of the school.
Yes.
Want to be a part of the thing.
He incentivized learning and excellence and getting the answer correctly. What I also liked was, and I want y'all to speak about it, is how they acknowledged failures. When kids were getting it wrong, how did they respond?
They helped each other out. They didn't say, okay, you wrong, that was not the correct answer. They all helped each other get the correct answer.
That's right.
And they supported one another. Like I said before, they supported. Nobody picked or bullied at anyone. They supported no right or wrong.
That's right.
And they built on the knowledge that the person before them had. And if the person before them had it wrong, they would ask them, what is your mistake? What do you see? Where is it? What's wrong? And they would go back through all the steps and they say, oh, I see. And they went on.
Mm-hmm.
And in opportunities where they had to do corrective action, the teacher would do things or say things that kind of went back to their mantra. If you're going to be present, be present. So that means with your body, your mind, you had to go back in and say, okay, am I focused now? To make sure. And so they were accountable, and they had those routines and their rituals. They had them. It was just like second nature. And so the kids understood what was going on.
And in his opening message, Mr. Clark said, if you're going to be here, be here. Right. And I thought about that. So often, we're in a meeting and we have our cell phones out. You know, we're reading emails. We're thinking our brain, we're collaborating, and we're somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But when he set that expectation, if you're going to be here, be here. And in Halifax County, we traveled 7 hours on a bus, stopping at rest stops. Why would we dare go to the Ron Clark Academy and check emails during sessions? Would that make sense to you? No. And I'm so glad that he set the stage up front. If you're going to travel all that way, be here fully. Get everything out of it. Because at the end, man, they had me come down a slide. Everybody had to get slide certified. Talk a little bit about that slide certified. Talk a little bit about that slide certified.
It was exciting and interesting and made me overcome my fears of like roller coasters and different things like that. So I did go down the slide, and I am certified.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And I am slide certified. If I went down a big slide, everybody could do it.
I am slide certified, and when you came out, they had a little dance. You had to do your dance, say, I'm slide certified.
Yes, and I'm slide certified as well, and very proud to be, and I just love the experience and the camaraderie that the team displayed once I came down that slide. And I'm slide certified, but I want you to see that I'm 6'4". Can you imagine that long thing that came at the end of that slide? They had to move back and go, oh Lord, and I had to look at him and say, help me up now. To come off that slide. But we had a ball. Yes, but what it is that we learn. And as we wrap up this session, I want you to share with them, what you got out of traveling with your colleagues for a weekend.
I was able to collaborate with people that I don't see all the time. My grade level, teen, pre-K, along with kindergarten. We were able to collaborate because we are all one. And even with the 3rd grade, 4th grade, different grade levels. It was very interesting and exciting.
Mine's is simple. We became a closer family. We were already family. We became a closer family.
All right.
Yes, and we began to build relationships with others that we hadn't had a relationship with before. So now it's like we're one big family.
We're one big family.
And last but not least, it talked about the power of high expectations, setting high expectations and modeling on a day-to-day basis and what it looks like.
We had a wonderful time.
Yes.
And more times are coming. More opportunities are coming. We are embracing opportunities. We are inspiring excellence and embracing opportunities. Get your 5 fingers up. When you hear Doc C, get your sweet tea out. We'll be right back at you.
Right back.
These are the good times. Cheer up, yo. My grandma looks better than you doing push-ups, and she's 85 years old. Such a good life.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
on top of it before they do. About every 30 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes about 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
Are you listening? Damn.
Well, get your 5 fingers up when you see Doc C, and also toast it up because it's now time for our segment of Sweet Tea with Dr. C. How's everybody doing today?
Great, Dr. C.
Now, we're continuing our conversation about the Ron Clark Academy because we took the Teachers of the Year and the Pathfinder.
Yes.
And how many people did we end up taking?
We took 17.
17 people.
Yes.
Right? We had 17 people go with us. Now, I want you to know that part of our mission in Halifax County, if we're going to embrace opportunities and inspire excellence, we have to develop partnerships.
That's right.
We can't do this on our own, but we can do it with the support of partners. And I want to give this huge, big, gigantic partnership shout out to BB&T Miss Wendy Wingrove. And we want to say hello, Wendy from BB&T. How are you?
Doing great.
You're doing all right?
Doing fine.
Good, good. We would, I got to tell the story, y'all.
Tell the story, Dr.
About that story.
Tell the story.
Wendy called me up and she said, Dr. Cunningham, we would like to take, a group of you to go to the Ron Clark Academy. And I said, that's good. She said, well, we only have 10 tickets. I said, I need more.
That's right.
Am I right, Wendy? I said, I need more. I need more. And so she went back to the drawing board and came back and said, we can do that.
Thank you.
And we want to say thank you very much for looking under every stone and meeting us halfway. Because BB&T, they funded all the admissions, our room and board for the day, correct?
Yes.
For 15 of us to attend the Ron Clark Academy.
That's right.
And we want to give them another round of BB&T for looking out. We'd like to say thank you very much, BB&T. Thank you, Wendy, for all. Now, tell me about your work with the Ron Clark Academy.
Sure. So we entered into a partnership with the Ron Clark Academy for their 10-year anniversary. They want to expand in their ability to bring in more educators. They want to make it a bigger school. And so we have provided them with some funds to be able to do that. And part of what we get from that is that we can send 100 teachers a year for the next 5 years to the Ron Clark Academy so that you can go and observe and learn the methodology that they have there. And so we look at where our opportunities are for those 100 teachers every year. We're 2 years into the program, so we have at least 3 more years with the partnership. So at the end of this, we'll have 500 teachers across all of our footprint. And so we're really excited about it and what it can mean to kind of revolutionize, and bring back to the school systems.
Wow, that's just awesome. And so you have been to Atlanta how many times?
I have been 3 times now.
3 times?
Yeah.
Is it always the same way?
No.
It's never.
It's always that level of excitement, but what you get out of it every time you go is something different. The same things are always there. The engagement with the students, the faculty is phenomenal. But it's a different group of people that come in and what they bring to the table and what you get out of that to be able to bring back. Right. It is just so amazing. So there's a lot of good that is going on across the country in education. But when you have experienced what the Ron Clark Academy brings, it's just another level that you just don't see everywhere. Right. And so it's really good. I mean, I'm really excited that we were able to partner with you and be able to send you.
Yep. Absolutely. And so because of her generosity and because of the generosity of BB&T, we were able to take all of our teachers of the years to go. And I want them to introduce themselves to you, beginning with
Miss Elliott.
My name is Miss Elliott. I'm from Scotland National Elementary Leadership Academy, and I teach 3rd grade.
Hello, I'm Deborah Richardson, 3rd grade math teacher, science and social studies at Arabian Springs Institute of Global Learning.
Good morning, Tracy Brinkley, Northwest Collegiate and Technical Academy. I teach English 3 and English 4.
Sonia Boone, Enfield Middle. I teach 6th and 7th grade world history here at Enfield Middle.
So we finally, we took 10 all of our new teachers of the year, as well as some central office folk to go. And beginning with you, Ms. Keller, what did you get out of this experience?
One aspect that I found to be very empowering. Gotta get the mic right. One aspect that I found very empowering and encouraging was the level of student engagement, student discipline, as well as it was matched with relationships. That was one theme that I saw throughout the whole day was teachers were involved with the students and the students were engaged, as well as students taking responsibility for their learning.
Dr. C, what I got out of the Ron Clark Academy experience was students were empowered. I've never experienced students being so empowered. They weren't scared to answer questions. They weren't afraid to share. They wasn't afraid to stand up, and their voices were heard. That was very impactful to me.
I got out of it student engagement. Students were engaged the entire time, the entire class, not just one or two students constantly answering questions. They were all engaged. You could see that the instructors had built that strong relationship with their students.
The high level of rigor that was displayed in the room by the students and teachers gave me the courage to come back here at Enfield Middle and raise the bar for my children. Prior to that, it actually empowered me. It made me more fearless. It gave me the foundation that if a student, if my delivery wasn't right, or even the student's comeback wasn't right, it's okay. We get over it and we try it again until we get it right. And I literally left the building empowered.
That was awesome.
And that's what our word was 2 years ago, empower. We all have to have the confidence that some days, as Wendy said, you would come to the Ron Clark Academy and it's not the same all the time. The energy's level, correct, is there. But there's always something unique about it because the participants, the groups visiting are unique. And so you have to understand that in schools, we can't always predict the outcome because we're working with human beings. And every human being is unique. They bring their highs and their lows, their happy days, their sad days. You just don't know what you're going to get every day. I don't know how I'm going to act every day. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So Dr. Battle, how do we pull all this together in our instructional plan?
So when we look at the Common Core and the whole intent of Common Core, we look at that student accountability component and students taking ownership of their learning. And what we saw at the Ron Clark Academy was a great way for educators to see how to just kind of jumpstart that information. It also gave us the opportunity for the rigor, because we saw engaging lessons and students were able to excel. We set the expectations high and the students, they could rise to the challenge and they could have conversations about it. They could articulate their stance and they could debate. You could see students debating about which stance was the most appropriate stance for a given scenario. And Common Core teaches you, defend your stance. And the students were able to articulate that in a safe environment. And the culture of the school was very inviting, and it gave the students the safeness that they needed in order to articulate, and they could learn. They could be themselves, and you learn best when you are yourself. And the students were able to do that. And the teachers served ultimately as the facilitators. They would throw a problem out there, let the children work on it. And the students will get together, they'll huddle, they'll strategize, and then they'll come out with their plan of action. And if this group didn't agree with that plan of action, they could articulate, okay, I got you into this particular part, but now this is where we differ. So the students, it was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
It was just awesome, totally awesome. Ms. Keller, what did you get out of it? How have your practices changed since this experience?
One aspect that has changed is the facilitation. I've been working on routines with my students to kind of take more control of their own learning, as well as not speak as much or do my teacher talk, but have the students be more engaged in the dialogue and discussion through the classroom, through question prompts, understanding vocabulary, and as well as working out problems with discussion. So how did you come across that part of the problem? What areas do we need to go back and review? What vocabulary are we missing? As well as the highlights of the classroom too, challenging the students to encourage each other and to build those relationships within their peer group.
Experiential learning.
Thank you.
Dr. C, what I've implemented in my classroom is when students, if they get a problem wrong, the other students have the opportunity to stand up and say, I got your back.
That's right.
That's our new strategy that I've implemented. It's not exactly like I saw it in Ron Clark Academy, but I took my own little.
That's right. You're supposed to. You'll spin to it. That's right.
Yeah. So they stand up and they say, I got your back, and then the other student, but they still. What I'm working on now is once they have your back, can you see where you went wrong?
I got your back.
That's right. And also I've implemented. Music was already a part of my classroom because my students, my third grade math students, they do their timetables to James Brown. So they always, Miss Richardson, we haven't done our ABL. I said, well, let me put on James Brown, and they get ready. So they're sharing with me the new dances that are coming out while they're learning their timetables. Because I had no idea what Take the L is. So but now I know what Take the L is. All right, and that's mainly the thing I took out of Ron Clark.
What I brought back is student responsibility, less talking from me, and the more of the students taking responsibility and getting assignments done. They're working with partners to ensure if my partner can't remember something or didn't remember something, then they have a partner there to say, as Ms. Richardson said, I got your back, to make sure that everyone is on that same level and everyone succeeds.
I brought back bringing more music into my classrooms, and I know my students are out there saying, Ms. Boo, you already had music, but it was Christmas music. Christmas music all year round because it gives me the safety of no profanity. But I realized at Ron Clark that you have to reach the children by what they like, their movements, their beats. And I've combined catch, ABL, and the spirit of dancing and moving and having the kids create their own chants and their own mantras. And we're now currently working on an I Matter mantra to do in between ABL breaks.
There you go.
Like, I really feel like that. I always thought I was great. I always thought I had it. And it really put a spark in me that I didn't know could be sparked. It showed me that I had so much more growing to do. And I am so grateful to BB&T and Dr. Cunningham for choosing the teacher that he is and taking us to that experience, because I could have never gotten that unless I witnessed it with my own eyes.
Right.
And so I am very, very grateful to you.
So Wendy, let's talk a little bit about what has changed in you? You keep going back, all this energy. What impact does it have on you?
You know, I go back and I'll state for everybody first and foremost that my mom and dad were both public school teachers. So I grew up in a house of education. So there were always high expectations for us. And I grew up in a time, I'm not going to give away my complete age, but there were not a lot of men that were in the school systems. And I'm seeing there's a big change there. But my dad was one, I would say, one of the first kind of, in my mind, that he was kind of that father figure. And he had a way of teaching that you didn't realize you were learning. And that's a special way of being able to reach people. And so for me, what I've been able to do is of course, I've interjected some of what I learned from Ron Clark into my actual meetings that I have. Yeah. We're a whole lot more interactive and more engaged instead of just sitting around the table. The other piece is that I happen to know a lot of school teachers, and they have not had the opportunity to go to the Ron Clark Academy. So I come back to them and I work. I've got 20 nieces and nephews. I come back and I work and try to do things with them that I've learned to engage them. I'm always amazed when we get off the bus and we're going into the Ron Clark Academy. The kids that are lined up there that are shaking hands, they're making eye contact, they're welcoming to their place. They're not just sitting back and letting us come in. They're part of the experience. And to watch them and to be able to see how they interact with each other and how they hold each other accountable, that's pretty amazing.
It is amazing.
So everybody's got something to bring to the table. You just have to maybe help them get it onto the table.
Everybody matters.
That's right.
Everybody matters. Everyone plays a key role here in Halifax County Schools, and I was so glad that we were able to travel all the way to Atlanta to see that reinforced.
Yes.
That what we're doing here is a best practice. Didn't y'all see that?
Yes.
You know, what we're doing here is a best practice. Am I right, Dr.
That's right, because when you look at the framework of the things that happen at the Ron Clark Academy, we have those things here in Halifax. And now that we have more teachers who have been exposed to that, we have more soldiers on the battlefield that can help us push our children. Because we have those high expectations, and we have to partner with our parents so that we can garner that support to give the students that confidence that they need in order to explore and be experiential learners. Because those students had different projects that they were doing, and they were able to articulate. They could tell you about it, and there was no shame in their game.
None.
And so I really like that.
None.
I really like the spirit and the culture that they had embedded in that environment.
They acknowledge failures. They acknowledge failures.
Yes.
You know, failures are our best teachers. So as we close, what advice would you give the new teachers? I mean, to teachers in general right now about what we're doing in Halifax County Schools, and what advice would you share with teachers now?
One piece of advice that I would give to teachers is to be involved with your students. Facilitation, I felt, was a huge aspect of the experience and time at the Ron Clark Academy, and it also gave students a way to be empowered in the classroom. So it allowed students to feel that they were a part of each moment throughout the school day.
Thank you. What I would share with my students is don't hold anything back. I mean, take those little moments where you do those little mini lessons and let the students know that you are real. The other day, we took our students out and they sat along the woods of Aurelian Springs, and they they brainstormed about what they thought was going on in the woods, and they built their vocabulary. And then it's my part, I brought my personal experience to the situation where I talked about how when I was a child, because I was reared on a farm, and it was 4 girls, and we went down into the woods, we built houses, took my dad's tobacco sticks, but once my dad found out, we had to bring all those tobacco sticks.
Bring them all back up in there.
And we had built, we had a house with 2 levels, to flip cars over, inside the car, had blankets all on the windows, we had made windows out of the car. So you have to let kids know that you are real too. And just let them shine. You can shine, everybody shine together.
Okay, Ms. Brinkley.
My advice, build relationships with your students early. From day one, and even before day one. Over the summer, call them, meet them over the phone, but you need to build relationships early.
Ms. Moon?
My advice would be to invest in yourself. Read, read, read. I actually learned that from the Ron Clark Academy, from a reading teacher. He doesn't wait for anyone to teach him or send him to a PD. He reads, anything that he can read about literacy. And so now I'm reading everything that I can find about the delivery of social studies.
And parents, as we close up this section, we need you.
You do.
We need you to be intimately involved in your child, in your child's education. At the beginning of the day, I need you to set that expectation by saying that we want you to strive for 5 today.
That's right.
See, strive is an action verb. That means you got to go get it. You got to go after it.
Every day.
Every day. It's not going to come to you. You have to go get it. You have to pursue it. You have to seek. You have to run for it. You have to go for it. Every day I need you to set that expectations. At the end of the day, I need you to review if that expectation was met.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
How was your day today? And then you have a conversation about what went right and what went wrong. But every day, parents, I need you holding your child accountable to the learning that's supposed to happen every single school day, because our goals are clear. We want every child to answer 5 more questions right than they did last year. Every teacher would do what now? 5 more students will pass than they did last year. That's our Halifax expectation. Big shout out to Wendy. Give her another round. Big shout out to BB&T. We out. Have a good one.
All right.
These are the good times. Come on, bring our show. Get her up, yo. My grandma was telling you do it with the and she's 85 years
For more info, go to operationgraduation.com.
Sorry.
Get on top of it before they do. About every 30 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes about 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Your girls have been with you through every moment of your life. And they're still with you right now. But how well do you know them?
You don't know my name.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome to our next segment of Sweet Tea with Dr. C. Let's toast it up, toast it up, toast it up, toast it up. It's that time to have a conversation with our Sweet Tea about our students, because, you know, in Halifax County Schools, we're student driven.
That's right.
It's all about the students here. Everybody matters because we're pouring ourselves out into every child in Halifax County Schools. 3 years ago, I was over here at Enfield Middle, and I saw the kids out there working on this farm, right? And I went out there and I said, Mr. Cotton, what's going on out there? He said, we have a farm.
That's right.
I said, you have a what? He said, we have a farm. A school farm. And right then we had about 4 acres that we were cultivating and working on, then. And then we got to thinking. After my first year, I observed that one of the strengths in Halifax County Schools is our open landscapes.
Yes.
We have a lot of land that we could turn over and turn into farms. Am I right?
That's fine.
So what we did, we took that 4 acres and we got more land, didn't we?
Sure did.
And then we expanded it to almost 9 acres.
Yes.
9 acres. Where we're just growing about everything out there. And what our goal is to embrace the opportunity of our open landscape by allowing our children to know everything there is about the #1 industry in North Carolina, and that is agriculture. We have embraced agriculture in Halifax County, and I just want our students to come out here and give a big shout out, first of all, to Latoya Jones, Delnasia Silver, and Tyree Silver.
All right.
And I want y'all to say something. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
But just say something. Say something. How you doing?
Good.
You doing all right? Introduce
Yeah.
yourself to our Facebook community.
I'm Delnasia Silver. I've been working on the farm for 5 years now.
And what grade are you in?
10th.
10th. All right.
Good morning. My name is Latoya Jones. I'm a junior at Southeast Collegiate Preparatory Academy. Hey, Mom.
All right.
All right.
Miss Silver, right there.
I'm Tyree Silver, and I'm a current student at University of Mount Olive studying agriculture education.
So we have a graduate of Halifax County School. Tyree, you graduated from where?
From Southeast Halifax, well, switched up to Southeast Collegiate Prep Academy.
And you were on the farm when?
My 12th grade year.
His 12th grade year. So he was part of the building of the farm.
That's right.
Right? Right? So tell me a little bit about the farm and why do you like it so much?
Because we get to work together, communicate with each other. We be selling fruits such as watermelon, cucumbers, squash, and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've been working in the farm for 5 years, and I enjoy working in the garden because you get to work with so many people and explore so many cultures, and I really love that.
Working at this farm, it has experienced a lot for me. It helped me to identify my career and my major and what I really want to become. This farm has really impacted me. It showed me a lot, and by working out there, it became a hobby for me just to learn and to experience a lot of our culture and the industry.
So Tyree, what did you decide to major in?
Agriculture education.
Oh, give him a round! Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. He was out there on the farm, working with Mr. Cotton. Now he wants to major in it.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
That's a love for learning. That's what Halifax County Schools is all about. Now, we do understand that, what are we growing currently now at the Halifax? What are we growing? What did y'all plant now?
Well, we got watermelon now. We have cucumbers out there too. We not growing squash no more. Okra, we have okra now.
We have kale, and we're working on salad.
Okay.
We're technically getting ready for the fall, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we got a lot of cabbage, collards, salad, and a variety.
Yeah, sound like a future ag teacher, doesn't it?
That's right.
We got some cabbage, we got some collards.
And you know, Dr. C, when you think about education as a whole, especially agriculture education, you know, these students went through the class with Miss Holness. So Miss Brianna Holness, she taught them some of the ropes, and Mr. Cotton actually do the learning lab with the students, so they get that hands-on experience on how the process works, the economic process in terms of supply and demand as it relates to agriculture.
That's right, because what we're doing, I want you to picture the farm as an outdoor learning environment.
That's right.
An outdoor learning environment. We're already going to partition an acre, a half acre to an acre off, so that schools, elementary schools, can come and visit our farm, and each school will understand the growing process.
That's right.
Well, how is the growing process aligned to our science standards?
That's
right.
That's right.
Right? When you want to know growth. And so every school will have an opportunity to grow, to learn, to reinforce some things that are taught in the classroom, like yield. What's a yield, Tyree?
A year is a hazard.
Keep talking about it.
A yield is a hazard. We tend to have it on the bags of seeds and to let you know like what to look out for, if it's GMO, or what GMO stands for, genetically modified. So therefore, half of the vegetables is grown or modified. So if it's non-GMO, whatever happens, it happens.
See what they're learning in the classroom? So if he saw that on a test, he would know how to answer it, wouldn't he?
That's right.
Wouldn't he? What else are you getting out of the farm?
I'm getting out the farm like leadership skills, people skills, and I'm helping develop premier leadership.
What I'm getting out the farm is working together as a team, coming together, and just communication, because you got to speak to different people in a certain way.
Now, one time we had remember when we grew all them watermelons?
Yes.
How many did we end up growing? Talk to me. She's just so shy.
I don't know, it was so many to count.
It was about 500.
Yeah.
Right? And we were selling all these watermelons right on, at every farmer's market, everywhere. Everybody was eating the watermelon. I had so many watermelons, it was something else. We sent some watermelons to DPI. We sent the watermelon to our state superintendent, who talked about how juicy it was, how good it was. Right? And he gave us a big shout out for it. But what did you learn about all of the opportunities that are open for you in ag, from the planting. What did you learn about planting? It's more to it than just putting a seed in the ground and leaving it alone. What did you learn?
I learned that before you even do all that, you gotta dig dirt, put seeds down. You gotta cover it back up. You gotta go, and then the rows are long, so you gotta walk down the rows and just use the rake and just cover it up. But you can't go too deep.
One thing I learned in the garden is whatever you do, it's gonna come up. So it may not come up in that second, but it's gonna come up. So it takes planning, and you have to literally like sit there and make sure that everything is correct, so the crops will be productive.
One thing about the farm is every year is not gonna be the same. We tend to have things to grow correctly, and sometimes it grows wrong. It's all dealing with the heat and with the weather and the conditions. Like, you just can't plant anything at the exact time you did last year. You have to be precise about the temperature and what the climax is like at that point of time.
See, there are a lot of lessons to be learned on that farm. That's why we're embracing it, because it reinforces the standards that are taught in every single classroom. Now, how is this helping you with your grades? Big question.
The garden is helping me with my grades because I'm able to plan. It's all about time management. So if I work after school, I have to make sure that all my schoolwork is completed before coming to the garden. And we have excellent staff such as Ms. Holdens and Mr. Khan that are implementing service learning in our school.
It's helping me with my grade because working in the garden can be an experience. Plus, we go over the stuff in class, so what we do in the garden, we can do it on the test. It helps us.
The garden helps with internships, such as volunteer. You can that can go on your resume, and it can get you a lot of recognition. And just by you being a part of something that's with the county and helping the county and students, people look at that and think of you as wow.
Yeah, wow, you're prepared. And that's what this is about, isn't it? Preparing our students for the future.
That's right. Just like they have to prepare the field, we have to prepare them for the future. And so there's a process that they have to go through as it relates to that. These students also learn about business plans. They learn about economics with the supply and demand chain. They get the opportunity to go out to market themselves, to market their products. They have good oratorical skills because you will see them at the farmer's market. I've seen Tori talking to people about different things. So all of those oratorical skills transpose over into the work world, and we're preparing them for college and career readiness. And so it starts right here in Halifax County where they get that learning lab experience.
So hire our children today.
That's
what this is about. Our children need jobs. They need good jobs. We're preparing about them. And you can help Halifax County Schools right now by ordering your vegetable box.
That's right.
We're going to be rolling out vegetable boxes full of vegetables every single month for $20.
Grown by our students.
Grown by our
That's
students.
Right.
So you're going to see an opportunity where you can be part of Greenleaf Farm to help us work these children and give them opportunities for success here in Halifax County School. Big toast to our farm program. Big shout out to our students. We'll be right back.
All right.
These are the good times.
My grandma looks better than you doing push-ups when she's 85 years old.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
Sorry.
Get on top of it before they do. About every 30 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes about 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
You see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
You should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Your girls have been with you through every moment of your life. And they're still with you right now. But how well do you know them?
You don't know
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
We'll let them introduce themselves.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now look sharp. Take them headphones off. Welcome back to Sweet Tea with Dr. C. This is our fourth section, and you know it's football time. Are y'all ready for some football? We are ready for some football. Now get your thing up, get your toast up. It's time to toast it up to all the Sweet Tea players out here. Out here. That's it right here. We have some Sweet Tea now. Today we're talking about infield. Infield is on the rise, y'all. I mean, not only are they doing it academically with proficiency,
That's right.
you know, which is the most important part. We're also doing it athletically. Our infield football team is doing wonderful things. I want some of our players to introduce themselves to you.
My name is Mars Woodker. I'm quarterback for Infield Middle.
All right.
My name is Kevin Boy.
My name is Tamars Bishop, and I'm one of the running backs for Infield Middle.
All right.
My name is Dawan Mitchell, and I'm the running back for Infield Middle STEAM Academy.
My name is Jamaris Hudson, and I'm a wide receiver for Infield Middle.
All right. Now, how long have you gentlemen been playing football? Who the quarterbacks? Talk about your team this year.
Well, so far my team been doing good. All working together with good communication and all.
How do you know you're doing well?
Okay, everybody giving us good compliments.
Good compliments?
Feedback. All right.
Good feedback? What's your record?
We 4-1.
4-1?
All right.
Is that the best record y'all have had in a while?
Yes, sir.
Talk about the best record?
Tell us about it.
So, you know, this year is the year we beat Chandler, and like we on a rise right now because we this our first year losing only one game, and we plan to keep that. So, we plan on to keep on going forward and not lose no more games. We trying to make history down here in Infield Middle.
So this year you guys beat who? And they're a bigger middle school?
Yes, sir.
And I guess is this the first year that y'all beating them?
Yes, sir.
What? What do you attribute it to? Why? Why do y'all think you won?
I think we won because we played hard. We worked together. Like everybody had a role in that game. Like everybody fulfilled that role in that game. So we just worked hard, like 120% through 4 quarters, and we came out with a win.
What do you want to say over on this side?
I'm just happy we won.
You just happy you won? And how about you, running back?
I'm just happy we won, and everybody worked together as a team, and we came out with the victory.
You came out with the victory? So how long have you been the running back? Hold the mic.
1 year, because my first year playing for Enfield Middle.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And how long have you been playing football?
I've been playing football ever since I was real young. I used to play for the Enfield Warriors. Then in my 7th grade year, I switched over and played middle school ball, and I've been the running back for 2 years in Enfield Middle.
And how long have you been playing?
Since I was 5.
Since you were 5? Did you play for the Enfield Warriors? How many of you played for the Enfield Warriors?
All of us.
Everybody played for. A big shout out to the Enfield Warriors. Big shout out to the Enfield Warriors for prepping it. It's because of that experience that you're better off today, correct?
That's right.
Would you say that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how many of you want to play in college?
All of us.
All y'all want to play in college? How do you think you're going to get there?
We just got to put the work in and keep working hard to succeed. Playing in college, you got to have good grades and just keep working hard.
Mm-hmm. Pass it on.
Same thing what he said.
Same thing? What about you gonna say?
Yeah, same thing what they said, but like we just gotta focus in the classroom, keep our grades up, keep our mind right, like don't get caught up in no negativity, and like keep on working.
Be a student athlete, have a good attitude, and you'll make it.
Right.
That's right.
You have to have a great attitude, right, Dr. Banner?
That's right, because you're athletes, you're student athletes, and so you're students first. And so those things that you learn on the field, how to work as a team, those things transpose over into the classroom as well. Because you work hard in the classroom so that you can get your grades up and so that you can maintain that attitude on the field. So you all are doing a good job with that, and you can see that as evidenced by your record, 4-1. You're learning about the teamwork part, and so these are our future Trojans.
Our future Trojans going right into Southeast with Coach Antoine, right? Is he the head coach over at Southeast? You see what you have coming to you, Coach Antoine? Right. You have winners, 4-1, just beat the Chandler Middle, a larger middle school with more players. But yet, Halifax is on the rise. Now, are all of you familiar with NC2A eligibility? Can't go to college if you don't know the eligibility standards. That's what caught me off guard too. I didn't know either. And then when I didn't meet it, guess what happened? I couldn't play my first year.
So tell us a little bit more about
You
this.
see? All of us have to be qualified to play at the college level. You have to have certain ACT, SAT scores, you have to have certain GPAs, and you have to have met a GPA requirement in a core subject area. 4 Englishes, 2 maths, all of that is a couple of foreign languages. All of those core classes, not PE, not electives, are averaged out, and all of you will have a GPA core average. That core average has to be over a 2.5 in your core. 4 maths, 2 Englishes, sciences, your history. Those are your core classes. When I was your age, I did not take those classes seriously until my junior year. When I should have taken those classes seriously in middle school.
Right.
In middle school. It is almost impossible to raise your GPA up your junior and senior year. You have to start early. You have to start now. If you're serious about playing at the next level. You have to. You have to. You have to commit yourself. Even the manager has to strive for 5.
That's right.
Because when you're playing college basketball, college football, you learn to depend on this man. This is the man that goes and gets it when you all in that hot tub and ice and you're on crutches. This is the brother that keeps you moving. So he too has to be sharp as well. Everybody has a role to play if we're going to be champions. But it starts in the classroom. Because one of the things if you know Todd Gurley, y'all know Todd Gurley? Yes, he came from these parts, right? Ask him to show you his NFL playbook. It's big. It's big. And guess what you have to learn? Guess what you have to be able to do with that playbook? Read it and memorize it and understand the concept and scheme. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So if you're not practicing reading and comprehension in the classroom, how you going to read that college playbook? You won't. You're going to be asking your friends and you're going to end up getting cut. Because that's what they're going to say. Next man up. Next man up. And guess what? You're competing. You're competing for a spot on a future team. And I want to give a big shout out to all of my NFL coaches right now and all of the collegiate coaches at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level all over America. I need y'all to lean in.
Let's lean in.
I need y'all to come check out the players in Halifax County Schools.
Check them out, student athletes.
We have players that are on the rise. Look at these players. Aren't y'all looking good?
Yes,
tell them. Say, come get me.
Come get me.
Say, come get me.
Come get me.
Are y'all worthy of a full ride?
Yes, sir.
Say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Say, I am committed.
I am committed.
I'm willing to do what it takes.
I am willing to do what it takes.
Do you hear what they're saying? I want you to know that these guys, all of them, are striving for 5.
That's right.
They're striving for 5, and all we want is an opportunity. All I want for my children is an opportunity for them to play for you. So pay some mind. If they want to reach you, what's your name again? Say your name clearly.
Mars Wood.
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Brown.
What's your name?
My name is Tamarza Bishop.
My name is Dawan Mitchell.
My name is Jamaris Hudson.
Jamaris Hudson, and they're all students at Enfield Middle STEAM Academy, led by the big man himself,
Mr.
Mike Jones. You can call Mike Jones at Enfield Middle about any of his players, and he will gladly share all the information that he can, because you know what I believe? You can sign somebody today.
That's right.
You can sign a kid in the 8th grade to play 5 years from now. I've seen it done. Haven't we, Michael Jones? Huh? Are you ready to be signed today?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for a full ride today? Are you ready for a full ride today? Are you ready for a full ride today? Are you ready for a full ride today?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for a full ride today? Come get them. Come get them. Halifax is on the rise.
Right.
Side by side.